What's going on, guys, and welcome to the Road to Infinity War here at The Real Talk, where we're going to be taking a sort of road trip in the MCU and making multiple stops along the way to our final destination, which is obviously Avengers Infinity War on May 4th. So with these multiple stops, they're going to be at every MCU film that comes before Infinity War. So that's including Black Panther next month, but it's excluding Spider-Man Homecoming and Thor Ragnarok, which I already reviewed. So they're going to be in my channel, and the links to that's going to be in the description and to this playlist as well. But they're not just regular reviews. I'm going to be bringing on 15 different special guests, guys. So at every stop, I'm going to be bringing on my friends and fellow YouTubers here and just reviewing the films together, and it's going to make them that much more special. So without further ado, let's make our first stop, and the film that started it all, 2008's Iron Man, directed by Jon Favreau, starring Robert Downey Jr., Terrence Howard, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Jeff Bridges. And let's get to my first special guest, guys, and I'm so excited to have him here on the channel reviewing this specific film with me. So Rudy, take it away.
Hi, welcome to Rudy's Movie Reviews, San Antonio's unofficial movie critic. First off, John, my bro, my man, thank you, sir, for asking me to be part of your Road to Infinity War's countdown. I really appreciate it. And for those of you watching, just so you know, John asked me last week, hey, I'm doing this special, how would you like to talk to me about Iron Man, you know, the movie that kicked off the whole MCU? And I was like, John, all I need are two things. When do you want this done and where? That's all I need. And I'm there for you, pal. So here I am, doing my review for Iron Man, the 2008 classic starring Robert Downey Jr. And again, that kicked off the Marvel MCU. So let's get started. Now, if I can go back and just rewind and go back in time, it's been 10 years. Can you really feel that? It's been 10 years since Iron Man came out, and I remember it just like it was yesterday because, man, time flies by when you're getting older, as they say. But I remember hearing about the film and being made in production. And I was very curious who they were going to cast for the role of Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. And when I found out that Robert Downey Jr. was going to do it, I was really excited because I thought it was the perfect casting for that role. Because for those of you that may not know or don't remember, back in the early 90s and early 2000s, really, Robert Downey Jr. had a troubled past. He had some abuse problems with alcohol and drugs, and he was really on the way out. But he pulled his life together. He's in a better place now, and look where he's at. It's a great story on his part, but his previous past and the role of Tony Stark were perfect because there's been stories where Tony Stark was suffered with alcoholism, and I thought those two characters perfectly met. They looked alike. They had the same troubled past, and it was perfect casting. And look what he's done. I mean, because of this film, Robert's charisma, Robert's energy, the MCU, look at where it's at. Look at what it's accomplished in 10 years. So I remember hearing when he was cast, it was a perfect choice, and the film is a hit. It's funny. It's got this energy. It's nonstop. And think about this. If the film had come out 5 years prior to that, or let's just say 8 years prior to that, 2000, would the CGI have been good? I don't think so. I mean, look at the first Harry Potter and, Phantom Menace episode 1. Some of the CGI doesn't age well, but I remember when the technology got caught up and you saw Iron Man kind of transition in that suit scene where he just puts his hands out and the whole suit gets on him. It looks good. And if you watch it now, it still looks good. It looks amazing. And I think the technology and where it was at with CGI and the casting and the start date of production for that film was a perfect alignment, and it worked out. And again, look where we're at now. As far as cons, I have my notes, lots of notes, and I saw the film again and I couldn't think of a con. It's just lightning captured in a bottle, as they say. It's a fun movie. It's casted well. Yeah, the villain may not be all that memorable, but again, what Marvel MCU villain is, to be totally honest. Again, for those who know the story, I'm sure all of you do, Marvel was on the verge of bankruptcy, so they were putting all their chips in to this one movie, it being Iron Man, and gambling that it would be great. And if it failed, we wouldn't be where we're at. That would have been it for the movies. But it was the perfect casting, the perfect elements all lined up, and it was just a great success. Don't you agree, John? Now, as far as my thoughts for Infinity War that's coming up, I am not going to lie. I am a bit nervous because I know the story. I read the comics as a kid, and the visuals that are going to be on the screen, I'm concerned they're going to be so outside of right field and so far-fetched that a lot of people are not going to connect with it. They're going to be like, what? That's just dumb. Because, for example, Thanos in the comic books turns Wolverine. He takes a skeleton out and Wolverine's just like rubber skin suit on the ground. He turns Thor into glass and things like that. So I'm curious if they keep that scene. Thanos turns Thor into glass and then shatters him. I'm curious how that will look on screen and what audience will respond to. If they'll be, what? That didn't make sense. I didn't know the gemstones could do that. What's going on? So that's my one concern about this movie. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, but I'm just kind of that's my instinct right now, is how are they going to capture the visuals from the comic book strips on screen? Now, I do understand there was a Comic-Con trailer last year that showed Thanos throwing planets. I didn't see it because I chose not to. I didn't want to see a bootleg copy. I wanted to see the high-def copy of that trailer. So I didn't see it. And a lot of people said it looked amazing, so I'm sure it'll look great. But that's my concern. The other concern is you have, 20 characters from every movie that are going to be in the movie. So how are they going to have time for everybody? I'm just curious how the writers are going to accomplish that feat in giving everybody equal amount of screen time for a 2-part film. So that's my concerns. It's just the special effects and the amount of characters in the movie. So those are my concerns, but I'm sure it's going to be a great success, and I can't wait. And as far as my rating for Iron Man 1, I'm going to give it a 95 out of 100 because it's just a fun film, as I've mentioned in all the points we've discussed. So that's going to be my rating for the film. And if you haven't seen it, where you been? And check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It's great to revisit the beginning, and especially at the post-credit scene, the very first post-credit scene. Seeing Nick Fury just come out of the shadows and say, we're here to talk about the Avengers initiative. And then wondering what was that going to be. You remember the excitement on that? You remember when we first saw that? Everyone was like, ooh, we're going to finally get the Avengers. Yeah. Everyone was excited about that. And that's come and gone already. So it's flown by. It really has. But again, John, thank you so much for having me be part of this. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, sir, from the bottom of my heart. And I look forward to your other episodes, to your Road to Infinity Wars countdown, all right? But as always, guys, thank you for watching Rudy's Movie Reviews, San Antonio's unofficial movie critic. Please take care, God bless, and live long and prosper. I am out.
Thank you so much, Rudy, for that amazing review of Iron Man. Before we get to my thoughts, I just want to say, if you guys have not checked out Rudy's channel, please do yourself a huge favor and check it out. He does some amazing reviews. He does more than just reviews. He has a lot of personal touches in his reviews and just makes you connect with him and the film as well. And I love that about him. So check him out, and his social media links along with his channel is going to be linked in the description down below. So, 2008's Iron Man. Man, my experience with the film, obviously, I heard about it back in 2006 when the Comic-Con came around and Kevin Feige was there. And they announced, hey, Marvel Studios is a thing now. We're going to be working on Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk. We have Ant-Man in development. We have Captain America. So, he said, you know what? Someone asked him, hey, are you going to be doing Avengers? Because it seems like, he's like, yeah, it's not a coincidence that we have all these films lined up. And just back then, it was just kind of like, wow, is this really going to be true? Like, is this going to come into fruition? Like, this is something that's never been done before. So 2008 rolled around, and then Iron Man came out in theaters. I remember watching it with a group of friends and just having a fun time with the film. But then we stayed around for the ending, and not a lot of people did. It was just me, my group of friends, and 2 or 3 other people, because back then nobody knew what an end credit scene was. I mean, there was, but the MCU kind of brought it back, and even in DCU movies, people stay at the end of credits like, hey, is there gonna be something going on? Because the MCU did that. So we stayed around the credits. Nick Fury came out and said, hey, I want to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative. And man, it just blew my mind to think that there's gonna be films that are interconnected and stuff like that. So I don't know. Iron Man for me kind of holds a special place in my heart for that. Kicked off this amazing universe. So let's go on with my review. To be honest, guys, I agree with Rudy 100%. I don't really have any negatives to the film. Yeah, the villain, he could be better, but that you can say that in any other movie. The villain could be better, this could be better, this could be better. But I thought Jeff Bridges did a fantastic job portraying that character, Obadiah Stane, and Ironmonger and stuff like that. His kind of, story and why he wants this part, it's believable. Like I said, it could be better, but you can say that about any other villain. But other than that, guys, there's no negatives. So the positives, man, this film is amazing. Everything from the performances that were given, the action, the CGI, I agree with Rudy, still holds up. The character development that went behind this, and the little subtle nods to a future universe with S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Coulson and stuff like that. It's just amazing. And also, this movie is very funny. I recently watched it for this review, and man, I just had another great experience. It was just amazing. I was laughing my ass off. The whole little thing with Tony and the little robot that keeps throwing that little thing, just making sure he doesn't catch on fire. It's just hilarious. And not only those things, it's just a comedy peppered in throughout the film. That's what I like, when it's peppered in, when it's not forced. And also, just like I said, the character development with Tony Stark, how he's this mogul who has everything, who's he's a weapons arms dealer, his company does that, but then he comes to realization after he has his event, and he wants to take responsibility for it. He wants to change. He wants to make the world a better place now without his weapons, and it's just so awesome to kind of see him throughout the film. And there's an amazing scene that really got to me, how he's just messing with his gauntlet or whatever, and he's seeing the news about what's going on in third world countries and stuff like that. He gets up, he looks at his reflection in one of the mirrors, he just blows them each. He kind of hates who he's become and what he's done, and so his company. And so it's just a really great movie. And that's what I like it, because they dive into Tony Stark. There's a bunch of Iron Man and the action scenes and stuff like that, but they really get down to Tony Stark, and that's why I like it. So with that being said, guys, I have to give Iron Man a 9 out of 10. Like I said, the performance is really great throughout. Gwyneth Paltrow, Terrence Howard, Obadiah Stane, Jeff Bridges, everybody get a great performance. The score is really great as well. The CGI still holds up. The action still holds up. The character development, Robert Downey Jr., just everything about the film. All right, guys, so that was our first stop on the road to Infinity War. Now I want to thank Rudy from Rudy's Movie Reviews. If you guys have not checked out his channel, please do yourself a huge favor. You'll thank me later. And also, he did my intro, the Real Talk Road to Infinity War. He did that, and man, it just turned out so amazing and beautiful. Again, Rudy, thank you so much for that. I owe you one, man. And yeah, I also have a collab with him coming up on his channel, so stay tuned for that. And again, another reason to go subscribe and check him out. And guys, next week we're gonna be reviewing and doing another stop on the road to Infinity War. That is for the Incredible Hulk, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, guys, I think that's it. Let us know in the comment section down below if you guys agree with us, disagree with us. Let us know all that in the comment section. And you guys can find me on social media at The Real Talk, Talk with 2Ks on Instagram and Twitter. You guys can also find me on Stardust doing early reactions and stuff like that for all the films and TV shows I watch. There you guys can find me just at The Real Talk. So until next time, guys, I'll see you at the movies. Later.